We are here today to orient HR managers, payroll-related user roles, and system admins on the new enhancement focused on the payroll calendar automation and yung maintenance niya po sa My HR. Kung kayo po ay user ng e-payroll, kung nakatanggap po kayo ng announcement, hindi po ito para sa e-payroll, ito po ay para sa My HR. Ang e-payroll po ay isa pa pong application or software na ginawa po ng Titanium Technologies at yan po yung ating version 2. Nasa My HR po tayo. Kaya po, kung kayo po ay nasa e-payroll at gusto niyo po makita kung anong meron ba sa My HR, maganda rin po mag-attend ng webinar po namin ngayon. So we have today's agenda. Ito po yung mga topics na meron po tayo. Design idea. Mamaya po yung ating speaker, sasabihin niya po, ano po ba yung naging idea behind this automation and maintenance? Ano ba yung design concept niyan? Saan ba bumase? Pangalawa po, dito rin po natin malalaman ano po ba yung mga naging challenges natin. At definitely sa ating mga attendees ngayon, na-encounter, nararanasan niyo po yung mga challenges sa payroll calendar ninyo. First, look on the payroll calendar automation and maintenance facility. Yan po magkakaroon po tayo ng walkthrough mamaya at phases ng ating enhancement. And wag po kayo mawawala, meron po tayong checkpoint a bit later. And to introduce myself, my name is Jubel, your webinar moderator for today. I'm thrilled to introduce our speakers. We have the ever-vibrant CEO and founder of Titanium Technologies. We have Jerry Yang. He will be imparting with us the system design and syempre his knowledge of this enhancement. And to walk us through later on and provide us an overview of the functionality and system limitations, we have our product application support, Joanna De Luna, on the call. So just to also provide an overview of our audience, kung ano po yung composition ng audience natin, a lot of you are, you have registered and na take note po natin yung mga system roles po ninyo. So ngayon, meron po tayong mga pan encoders or approvers na nasa call po na ito. Meron din po tayong HR specialists and HR managers joining the call. And of course, lahat po tayo employee role, definitely. And payroll specialist. May mga nag-attend din po ng ating webinar na payroll specialist. So maganda po, tamang-tama lang po yung ating audience at natatarget po ngayon sa ating webinar. So punta naman po tayo sa una po. Dahil ito po yung ating usapin, what is the payroll calendar? I'd like to turn the call over at this point to Jerry. So from this point forward, Jerry will be talking about what the payroll calendar is up to his system design idea of this enhancement. Jerry, would you do the honor? The floor is yours.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the intro, Jabel. I'm here today to quickly share with you a long overdue enhancement to the system. But before that, I'll quickly share with you the purpose of this enhancement. First and foremost, if you all remember, when we first implemented My HR within your company, we created or we introduced a concept of the payroll calendar that is built into the software. Normally, for most clients, a payroll calendar is a manual calendar that you track. It's probably on your desk or in an Excel file somewhere. But in our case, in My HR, we built the payroll calendar into the system. Now, the payroll calendar, the objective of that is to eliminate the need for the operator, for the user, to trigger system events, such as triggering a timekeeping run, triggering a payroll run, triggering certain reports, and so on and so forth. We realized that since payroll is a repeated activity, it happens at least 24 times throughout the year, a lot of these repeat actions were designed such that it will run on its own, hence the payroll calendar. So an example of this is the daily timekeeping that we do. From the first day of the cutoff to the last day of the cutoff, we do a daily timekeeping run at around 2 a.m. in the morning with the intention to allow your employees, for example, to immediately view their attendance the next day. Okay. Now, this payroll calendar has been in place since we implemented the system for you. But what we failed to implement is a facility for you to actually edit the calendar in case that you have to move certain cutoffs, or you have to move or move a cutoff, move a system activity earlier or move a system activity later. For example, this coming Holy Week, it probably threw a monkey wrench in all our payroll activities. So some of you might want to finish earlier, or some of you might want to finish later. So now this edit facility that we are introducing will allow you to do that modification without contacting our help desk. Next page, please. So just to take a few steps back to give you a quick history of the basis for the design of the payroll calendar, especially for those who were not there when we implemented the system for your company. So you might be familiar with the Excel file that we are showing on screen. This is a manually prepared file or manually encoded file that we share with you at the end of each year in order that the system can be initialized or prepared for the new payroll year. So this Excel file, I believe has to be filled up, manually with a lot of work, a lot of effort, and potentially a lot of errors as well. All right. So this payroll calendar file contains the pay date, the start and end of cutoff, certain dates when the deadlines, for example, for forms filing, initial payroll run, and final payroll run. So these are the dates that we request from your company every year. And this file would contain at least 24 lines that we then manually upload into the server, into our system. Now, moving forward, starting 2024, which is next year, we will now automatically generate this file for you. We will not ask you to prepare this file manually anymore. Neither would we upload this manually. No? So this will now be a system process. However, we do recognize that not all customers have the same cutoffs or the same deadlines. You may have the same cutoff, for example, 1 to 15, but you might not have the same filing cutoff or approval cutoff or final processing cutoff or pay date viewing cutoff. So given that, we will generate a standard or generic calendar for each one of us, for all of you, and then after which you are then given a facility to modify the calendar at will. And what can you modify? Next page, please. So if you drill down to this Excel file, there are certain dates that can be modified. There are dates that cannot be modified. For example, the pay dates, those are all fixed. Attendance and payroll cutoffs, they are all fixed, okay? But what we can modify is the, no, go back to the previous page, please. Sorry. Okay, one more. Okay, wait for my cue. All right, so an example of what you can modify is the last two columns, which is the PAN notice or personal action notice cutoff date. So sometimes you want to push the cutoff to a different date so that to accommodate more forms that were encoded late, for example. Another date that you can modify is the suspension of forms filing and approval. It might fall on a Saturday and you might wish to move it to a Monday, for example. Or Monday may be a holiday, for example, after the Holy Week, that Monday is a holiday, you might want to push it to a Tuesday. So historically, you have asked us to do this for you, but we have not been able to respond quickly sometimes. So we felt that we'll provide you an extra avenue to modify this date on your own. All right, next page. All right, so these are some of the other columns in the payroll calendar that you can also modify. Some of them are automatic in the system. It will run on its own. So we'll give you more details after this webinar. Next, please. Okay, so more fields. Yep, next page. Okay, now this is an illustration of a normal payroll cutoff. No? So in this example, it's 16 to 31st. So represented by the white numbers in the black boxes. And then you have, in this example, 7 days to process payroll from the 1st of February to the 6th with a payout on the 7th. Now, in this payroll calendar, you would notice certain certain comments or certain dates that have that are related to our processing activity. For example, on the 1st of February, there's a final timekeeping run, and at midnight, after midnight, and at 3 a.m. an initial compute payroll run. The idea that we run this after midnight is that on the morning of February 1st, on a Tuesday, when you report to work, the system is already ready to provide you with the payroll summaries for you to audit. And there are other activities that allows you to do a second run, a final run, posting of loan, and so on and so forth. So these are predefined system activities in the system, mixed with some manual activities that you need to do, such as generating reports and doing audits. All right. So this is a normal calendar. Of course, you might all have different dates and different cutoffs, or some of you might have 5 days for payroll. Some of you have 10 days, some of you have 15 days, for example. But these are the standard steps that are designed in the system. And these are steps that we all go through, using the MyHR system. Okay, next page. So what we did is, from this standard facing and standard set of activities, next page, we now distilled it into sub-phases, or what we call currently, internally, technically, Group 0, Group 1, Group 2 activities. But we will launch a new payroll dashboard to aid your current payroll processor or future payroll processor on what are the steps to complete payroll using the MyHR system from step 1 to step 1000. All right. So all these steps from start to finish are grouped into subgroups or sub-phases. And these include the daily timekeeping run, which is group 1. It is an internal code name. We'll finalize that. And there's a group 2, for example, and a run payroll, a group 3, and a group 4. All right. So this is the payroll dashboard that we will soon release to aid you in all the individual steps to start and finish the entire payroll cycle. All right. Now, this timeline, as I call it, is subdivided into blue-colored and orange-colored activities. Blue-colored activities are system activities. They run automatically. And the blue-colored ones is based on the calendar that you provide us. The orange activities are manual activities. For example, can you scroll back to group 4, for example, or group 3? One more, group 3. Okay, group 2. Let's do group 2. So to illustrate, group 2 is what we call the finalization of timekeeping and the initial audit of payroll. So group 2 is where the suspension of the form cutoff is, seen in the first line, and the suspension and the processing of all leave availments. So this first few lines of group 2 is where the timekeeping phase is closed and finalized. So once the timekeeping is closed and finalized, you'll see in the bottom, towards the lower third, there's a post-TK and a finalization of TK3 activities. So these are system activities. We will improve how it's labeled at the moment, but internally, that's what it's called. So after the system finalizes timekeeping, it then does an initial compute payroll run. So as you notice, beside the blue dots, blue circles, there are dates and times when these system activities will execute or will run. All right. Now, after the compute payroll run is completed, which is targeted on April 5, Wednesday, can you make the text larger, please? Can you zoom the screen, please? Thank you. All right. More, please. Okay, there you go. Thank you. All right. So the first compute payroll run, or the first payroll run, will happen on April 5, Wednesday at 9 a.m., for example. So this will run automatically on its own. After that, we have provided a guide to help your payroll processors new to the system, for example. What are the next steps to do? So these are the orange colored activities. So you will do audit payroll, you would do encoding, checking of the PAN transactions, payroll transactions, and so on and so forth, okay? So from the payroll calendar we showed you earlier, from the payroll calendar file that you fill up earlier, to the payroll calendar guide in Excel that we showed you illustrated, we are now combining this information into this payroll dashboard for you to follow a timeline in terms of processing payroll from step 1 to step 50. Now, what we have added to this payroll dashboard is a facility to modify the dates of the system activities. And the system activities are those in blue circles. Okay, for example, group 3, close payroll. It's currently scheduled to run on April 5, Wednesday, 9 p.m. However, you may decide to close payroll earlier, sooner, perhaps on April 4 in the afternoon at 6 p.m. Or perhaps you might want to push it one day later to April 6. So historically, you have asked us to edit this for you. However, with the system enhancement, you can now edit this date and time directly on your own. However, in order to make this editing easy, we group certain activities together. And that's why closed payroll is called group 3. It is composed of multiple steps in the system. However, when you edit, the entire group is moved all together at the same time, just by modifying the first line. For example, if you modify compute payroll from Wednesday 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., the system will automatically push everything forward. All 4 lines will move forward. Okay, so hence we have to introduce this concept to you because we have to explain to you how we kind of modify the system. So again, there may be 50, 100 steps to complete payroll in a system. A lot of these are automated activities, so you pretty much let the system do its work for you. But there are certain groups of activities like closing of payroll or posting of payroll that you might want to change the date, and we allow you to change the date for you. Okay, so next page. All right, so again, the payroll dashboard, and then the concept of the dates and the concept of the groups, and you modify the group in order to move the entire group forward or backward. Now, the reason we did this is because one, preparing that Excel file is laborious. Okay? It takes a lot of time and allows a lot of errors to happen. Okay, and number two, we now allow you to modify these dates independently or on your own. All right, no, you don't have dependence on Titanium anymore. But of course, if you prefer us to edit for you, our help desk is on standby as well to do the editing. But by and large, once these features rolled out, you can edit anytime. Okay, next please. All right, go. Yeah. All right. So having said that, having given you an intro and a background on why we did this feature, I'll sum it up first. So the entire Titanium HR system is built around a automated payroll calendar. My design objective was to automate all repeating all routine activities in the system, like triggering a timekeeping run, triggering a payroll run, triggering the generation of a payroll register, for example. So these are all routine activities. So in order to give you convenience, we decided to calendar these activities in the system so that it runs on its own. However, having done that, we were not able to provide you with an editing facility. So this editing facility is now ready. And I will turn over the microphone to Jobel to continue and to show you how to do the actual edit. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry. Thanks, Jerry, for that. And as you have seen it right here, that's the design concept. That's the concept behind this new enhancement. And also the challenges that we have faced and that we're solving by deploying this maintenance facility for our payroll calendar. Now, the next set, we have the following objectives, and listen carefully, our dear participants. These are the objectives for this walkthrough that Joanna will be doing in a while. We have first, locate the payroll calendar maintenance facility on My HR. Where will you be seeing it? And how do you access it? Second is relate your payroll calendar template to the groupings of the maintenance facility, in which case this has been presented to you a while ago by Jerry. Jerry has shown you the different groupings on the timeline on the payroll calendar or payroll dashboard. But now we're going to be relating that on the maintenance facility, where how do we see it on our maintenance facility? And then our third objective is discuss the functionality of the payroll calendar maintenance facility. And I do hope everyone would be asking. I expect everyone to ask questions about the functionality of our maintenance facility because you will be using it. And what our end goal for having attended this webinar is for us to minimize, or we will have zero errors when we're already using it. Zero procedural errors when we're already using the maintenance facility. In any case, we have system blocking. That means the system will block you from proceeding with your action if you are performing like an illegal action on the system. So it's going to block you. It's not going to let you proceed. But yeah, definitely Joanna will go through all of these functionality in the next few slides. So if you have received the first announcement, you may have seen this video. If you clicked on the video link on the first announcement about our newest enhancement, you'd be able to see this quick video. It's just a walkthrough. But I'll be handing the call over to Joanna from this point on, so she can demonstrate and walk you through on the payroll calendar maintenance facility. Joanna, the floor is yours.
Right. So, paano ba tayo makapunta sa, or paano tayo pupunta sa AutoScale or payroll editing facility? So first, let's go to payroll menu. Then makikita po natin yung PY dashboard. Load lang. Nalagaw ata. Nalagaw ata. Nalagaw po ako. Ayan. Going back. So we click the payroll, then click PY dashboard. Hintayin lang po natin mag-load. It will show you. Yes, it will show you the AutoSCAD maintenance. Ayan. So, kailangan natin piliin yung pay flex, no? Pay frequency na gusto natin i-edit. So, let's say it's monthly. And the current pay date, which is April 15. Ayan. So, click search lang, and then the system will display yung preloaded na schedule. Ayan. Ayan. So, kanina po, no, pinakita ko yung mga movable and non-movable. So, to show lang kung ano yung itsura sa action screen, ito yung si daily TK is hindi siya movable, meaning hindi natin siya ma-edit. Next, si group 2, which is si run payroll, ito yung pwede natin galawin, pwede natin i-adjust. As well as close payroll and close pay period. Post-GL belongs to the group na hindi na non-movable. Ayan. Ayan. So let's try to edit the suspension forms. No? Ang suspension form natin is scheduled April 12, 11:59 a.m. So adjust natin, let's say gusto natin gawing alauna para mapagbigyan natin yung mga hindi nag-file. Ayan, update natin yung schedule. So by clicking this drop down, then click mo yung +1. So makikita mo po na nag-update na or makikita mo yung bagong new schedule dito sa part na to. And then click update. Confirmation lang po. Ayan. Ayun. So, from April 12, 11:59 AM, naging 12:59 na po siya. Ayan, no? So, that's how we edit the specific schedule. So, na-mention po kanina, gusto niyong gawin na April 13. So, i+12 natin yan. Okay, so may blocking. Bakit po may blocking? Kasi po, yung last process ng group 2, which is April 12, 4 p.m., pag nag+12 po tayo, it will overlap the next schedule, which is the compute payroll, na naka-schedule ng April 13 at 12 p.m. So, syempre po, hindi sila pwede mag-overlap. That's why the system will block it automatically. Ayan. Para mabalik mo, click mo lang yung search ulit para maging editable ulit yung part na yun. Ayan. So ganun lang po kadali mag-edit ng schedule, no? Kasi ang pag-edit natin ng schedule is per group. So meaning kapag inedit natin sa suspend form, gagalaw din yung buong group nito hanggang initial compute payroll. Ayan. Okay. So yun lang po yung sa editing facility natin. I'll send the mic back to Ms. Jobel.
Thanks, Joanna, for that quick walkthrough of the maintenance facility. Let's go back to, let me share my screen again. So we can have the functionality. So that was that was really a quick walkthrough. But these are the functionality. Let me go through this point by point. So what Joanna had mentioned, this is already preloaded upon the creation of your pay period. So under auto-sched maintenance, and this can be found under payroll module, click on payroll dashboard, and then you'll be seeing the screen. Auto-sched maintenance, once you have selected that, click on that tab, it will show the pay frec. So you can click on the pay frec, select which pay frec you'd like to edit, and then click on the pay date, and then click on search. And these pay dates are going to be, or I mean, the processes under the auto-sched maintenance are going to be preloaded as you search for these pay dates or these parameters. The next functionality that we have for our maintenance facility is that, of course, it upgrades your plotting activity from manual to an automated generation, up to an automatic upload to loaded schedules. What I mean is, so every year, and this is also to inform everyone, every year, what Titanium does is we process 500,000 lines. That's across all our clients. 500,000 lines are being processed and audited every year for our payroll calendar. So you can imagine, like, if you have how many pay frecs, let's say 4, and each would be we would be populating those 4 pay frecs with the processes, and we have a lot of processes per pay frec. Let's say we have 20, and then you multiply that with the number of payrolls that you have for that pay frec each year. So you can imagine how many lines we go through, and of course, there's a high chance high chances of committing errors when we have that. So we miss out some of the lines, or there are incorrectly plotted dates or times. And so we have updated that. We're automating that plotting activity. So instead of Titanium manually plotting those dates and times, it's automatically generated and uploaded to your maintenance facility. So the third functionality, as we have discussed, we go by groups. So there are 6 groups, and the naming convention of these groups would be updated. Don't worry, we'll cascade another announcement to, of course, inform everyone of the naming convention that we've chosen or that we finalized on these 6 groups. So we're going to announce that. But processes, of course, as Jerry had shown earlier, they are based on the payroll processing journey until we get to close payroll. The next functionality, this feature, our maintenance facility would allow you to edit your payroll calendar of the current and future dated pay dates. We cannot edit previous ones or previous pay dates. You can no longer edit those. What you can edit or update are current and future dated pay dates only. So please take note of that. Current and future dated pay dates only. And then, as you can see here, this is a screenshot of a previous pay date. So this was for March 10th, and there's no edit or update button or drop down beside these processes or these schedules because this is already a previous pay date. So this already happened. But of course, for current and future dated, as Joanna had shown earlier, they can still be edited or updated. And then editable, please note that schedules are editable up to 4 hours before your target process runs. And we have the hourly interval, or we can see here +1 to -12, +1, +2, +4, +8, and +12, and then -1, -2, -4, -6, -8, and -12. So these are in terms of hours. These are not by minutes or by seconds, but hours. You can move that or adjust that. You can add an hour or 2, or you can -12. You can select -12 hours. And that's going to give you less of the time if you want to have it run earlier than your previously targeted schedule. And then here's another functionality of our maintenance facility. It will block you from editing from your action if it's overlapping any of the other groups schedule. So if it's overlapping with group 2, with the schedule that's posted on group 2, then you are going to be notified, or you're going to get this error message or note at the bottom of your group, the group that you're trying to edit. You're going to see this: cannot proceed with update. The last process schedule in this group perhaps overlaps with the first process schedule in the next group. So it's going to block you. It's going to prevent you from editing it any further. So these are the limitations of our maintenance facility. So these limitations, they are tied up with how we should be properly using the facility. The blocking feature currently works on the active pay date. The blocking feature, meaning this, this one, the note that you get preventing you from editing it any further. So that only works on the active pay date. And then, of course, we are to align everyone's understanding of this feature's purpose. We are to edit the payroll calendar only. And the feature, of course, allows you to edit it of the current and future dated pay dates only. So these are the limitations. And the data on screen covers only the preloaded process. The preloaded process, this is actually based on a 2-year study conducted by our operations, and we have standardized the schedules of our payroll calendar. That's what you would see on your end. Now it is up to you whether you are going to follow the preloaded process and the preloaded schedules. Anyway, we have, of course, we have also aligned that with with the payroll calendar that you have on the account, on your accounts. And if you'd like to, of course, update that based on your activities and the timeliness of your activities, your payroll activities, then you can go ahead and update that. Once we have granted you access to update your payroll calendar. So those are the limitations. These were the limitations of our maintenance facility. Let me grab your screen. Ayan po. Munting paalala lang po sa ating mga participants kung kayo po ay hindi nakapag-register. Ang ating moderator po, si Nice Nagarang, ay nagpapadala po ngayon ng mga messages sa ating mga non-registered or unregistered participants. Mag-register po tayo. Mahalaga po na makapag-register para ma-capture po namin ang inyong mga email addresses para mapadalhan po kayo ng post-webinar kit. Importante po yan dahil dyan din po nakabase ang pagbibigay po namin ng access control sa inyo. Paalala lang po, mag-register po tayo. Maraming salamat po. I-share ko lang po ulit ang ating deck. So ang mga susunod po na, ano po ba mga susunod na aabangan or mga mangyayari? Ito na po yung phases of the enhancement. Nasaan na po ba tayo sa deployment or enhancement na ito? Dito po sa ating phases, so ang initial phase, it was actually started, as you may have heard Joanna mention 2 years ago. May study na po nangyari 2 years ago. And then yung automation started a few months ago. And we have already done yung sa initial phase, we're done with these things. We created a script to automate the preparation of your payroll calendar for manual upload. So may manual pa rin yung initial phase. And then we have also eliminated manual upload. So during these times, yung sa initial phase, we did away with the manual upload and the manual preparation. Kung inyo pong mamarapatin at intindihin din na every year po, we actually process we plot, we process, and upload and audit 500,000 lines. Personally, na-experience ko po, naranasan ko na po mag-plot ng auto-schedule, and it's really gruesome. So we have already did away with that in the initial phase. Now we are in the mid-phase, and these are the things in progress. So we have already created your facility, your maintenance facility, to trigger automatic data population and upload of your payroll calendar. And at the same time, we have created your facility to maintain it or to update it. Post-webinar po, kaya mahalagang mag-register po tayo. Post-webinar, we are going to provide you your access control. Hindi po kaagad-agad. From today, bilang po kayo ng 7 araw. Within the next 7 days, magbibigay po kami, mag-grant po kami ng access control sa HR specialist and HR manager role. Yung pong dalawa, sa inyo pong mga account, HR specialist at HR manager role po ang bibigyan ng access control sa ating maintenance facility. So, kung sakasakali po na hindi po yun yung mga roles na gusto nyo or gusto nyo po ng ibang roles na lagyan ng access control sa pag-edit po ng inyong maintenance facility or ng inyong payroll calendar, magpadala lamang po kayo ng request form or RF, pirmahan po natin, huwag po kakalimutan yan,
at ipadala niyo po sa helpdesk@titanium.ph. Yan po. At isa pa pong kailangan niyo pong tandaan, yung access control, hindi po namin ibinibigay po sa lahat ng kliyente sa ngayon. Kaya nga po kayo pong mga nag-attend ngayon, mapalad po kayo dahil kayo po ang unang bibigyan po ng access control dito sa ating maintenance facility. Nakadahilanan po na ito pong orientation natin or itong webinar ay inyo na rin pong para malaman niyo po paano po ba yung gagawin. Aside from na walkthrough po namin kayo rin po ang mabibigyan ng learning materials and recordings and manual or primer ng kung paano po gamitin ito. Kung sakaling makalimutan nyo, pwede po kayo mag-refer dun sa aming ibibigay or i-share po na material sa inyo. At meron din po tayong on-screen na guide. Meron po kayong reference. So sa mga nakakalimutan po paano po ba yung step by step or nalilito pa rin kung paano po mag-close ng payroll, on-screen meron po kayong guide. So yan po yung kagandahan ng ating webinar ngayon. Dun lamang po sa mga clients po natin na nag-attend ng webinar, sila lang po ang mabibigyan ng access control. Ito na rin po yung inyong training. Consider it as your training. Ang end phase po nito ng ating enhancement sa payroll calendar automation and maintenance is to eliminate any manual handling. Our goal sa Titanium po is to eliminate 99.9% parang germs lang. 99.9% manual work. Kaya naman po, ayaw namin yan. Allergic tayo dyan. Eliminate any manual handling and our delivered state, yung i-deliver namin, future state po nito, full automation. Full automation. Marami po po kaming ina-ideate at this point, marami po pong internal discussion and you are going to receive that information, that webinar sa mga susunod pa pong phases. Ito pong sa end phase kung paano natin mako-complete ang ating workflow dito sa ating payroll calendar automation and maintenance facility. At abangan po ang ating estimated date or period of delivery nitong completion po namin is end of quarter 2. So mga around June po. Kung mapaaga, well good. Di ba, Joanna?
Tama po. Tama.
Ayan.
Yes.
Yes.
Claim it.
So, with that, kung nakinig po kayo ng mabuti, at kung kayo po ay keyboard warrior, gamitin po natin ang chat facility. Naka-allow po yan para sa lahat ng ating participant. May mga katanungan lang po tayo. I-type nyo lang po, multiple choice lang naman po ito, A, B, C, or D, para po sumagot sa ating checkpoint. Okay, ready na po ba kayo? Ready na po ba ang ating 29 participants na nandito sa ating webinar sa oras na ito? 11:45 on the clock. Syempre, ano na, may mga nagugutom na dahil lunch na. Nandito pa rin po ba kayo? Connected pa rin po ba? Nakikinig po ba? Nakinig po ba kayo kay Joanna kanina?
Dito po kayo. Sabi ko, pag sinabi ko po, hep, sabihin po natin, hooray! Hep!
Hindi naman
Ay,
nakakaano. Oo. Akala ni Joanna naka-unmute tayong lahat.
Akala ko
Ayan.
show to eh.
Yes. So, ang kaka-receive naman po tayo sa ibang participant. Naku, 29 po tayo dito. 29, dalawa lang po yung sumagot ng yes. How about the others po? Baka po kayo ay nakabukas lang po yung inyong device tapos hindi niyo po naintindihan yung presentation. Ayan, dumadami na po ang respondents natin. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pag-respond ng yes na nandyan pa rin po kayo. Kasama po namin kayo ngayong umaga ng Huwebes, March 30. Now, let's go to the first question. Ready na po kayo? Ating pong sagutan itong tanong. Ang tanong, In titanium, what is another term for the payroll calendar? Kung kayo po ay kung kayo po ay nakapag-submit po nito ng mga nakaraang taon, ano po kaya ang tawag po, another term for the payroll calendar? A, system posting, B, process, C, job queue, D, auto schedule or auto sched. Nako, tama ba yon, Joanna? Tama ba ang kanilang mga sagot? Nakita mo yan? Nakita mo yan? What is another term for the payroll calendar? May lumihis ba? Ayan. Ang tamang pong sagot dito ay, ano nga ba? Ayaw pa. Ayan. Ang tamang sagot po ay D. Ayan po. D. Auto schedule or auto sched. Kaya naman po on screen, makikita niyo po auto sched maintenance. Sa inyo pong marireceive pag meron na po kayong access control sa ating maintenance facility, makikita niyo po auto sched maintenance. Yun po ay payroll calendar maintenance. It's another term for your payroll calendar, auto sched. So, next question. Where can you find the maintenance facility of the payroll calendar? Kung kayo po ay nakikinig at nanonood po kanina, alin po dito, saan po dito ninyo makikita ang maintenance facility ng inyong auto sched or payroll calendar? Dito po ba sa payroll dashboard, D, PAN, payroll, C, audit, D, shift management. Saan po kaya? Naku, tingnan natin kung may lumihis. Nako, tingnan natin, Joanna, kung may lilihis dito. Ayan. So, tingnan natin kung anong tamang sagot. Where can you find the maintenance facility for the payroll calendar? A, tama po. Sa mga sumagot po ng letter A, ayan. Ayan, karamihan naman po, letter A ang sinagot. Salamat po. Salamat po at nakinig po kayo ni Joanna kanina. May na-capture po tayo doon. Payroll TY dashboard. So all you need to do is go to your payroll module, select payroll dashboard. Makikita niyo po sa tab sa taas, yung mga function buttons natin sa taas. Auto sched maintenance, and then you have your pay frequency
And the payday.
and the pay date. Yan. So, guided naman po tayo dyan. Pwede nyo na po siyang i-explore. Pagkatanggap nyo po ng inyong active control, pwede nyo na po i-explore. Pero wag lang po tayo maging trigger happy. Wag lang po. Ayan. So, pangatlo pong tanong, third and last question, before we go to the Q&A session, to which user role will Titanium initially grant access to the payroll calendar maintenance facility after this webinar? Within the next 7 days, saan pong role yan? A, PAN encoder or approver, B, PAN encoder approver, C, HR manager, D, system user admin. Kanino po ba mapupunta ang access control? Ayan. Thank you. Ang nakinig ng mabuti. Talagang mabibilis sumagot no?
Hindi pa tapos ang tanong, may sagot. Magaling.
Magagaling. Mabibilis.
Mabibilis.
Oo, mabibilis. Feeling ko nakapag-screenshot ban na rin sila. Nakapag-SSD na rin sila sa ating
Parang parang gusto na nilang
Correct. Ang tamang sagot, tamang-tama po ang ating mga sagot ngayon, HR specialist or manager. So, congratulations, you have been awarded your access control. Definitely, yun nga po yung aking promise ngayon. Yung access control niyo will be given within 7 days from this date. And abangan niyo po ang ating post-webinar kit. Nandun po yung ating recording, learning materials, and yung ating primer. So sa mga susunod na mga linggo, magpapadala rin po kami ng information packet sa mga improvement pa. Tulad po nung sa hours, yung sa pag-update po natin ng hours, magpapadala po kami continuously sa inyo kung sino po yung mga nag-attend ng webinar natin. Sa inyo po namin ipapadala yung information na yun para well-informed po kayo sa mga nagiging enhancement dito sa ating beloved MyHR. So, any questions? We'll now go to our Q&A session. Meron na po tayong pumilang question. Ang kauna-unahang question po dito gusto pong ipakita. Will you provide step-by-step procedure for this?
Yes po, may bibigay po kami post-webinar kit, parang makeup kit lang yan.
Yes.
Sasamahan po natin kayo hanggang sa dulo sa full automation ng AutoSCAD maintenance na to. So
Yes.
don't worry po, you will always have a procedure, a guidelines that we will provide you.
Yes. And as a matter of fact, to do away with a separate file for your procedure, actually ilalagay na po namin siya sa screen. Kasi yung sa, di ba, sa payroll timeline po natin, kung nakita niyo po yung mga groups, meron na po, yun po yung para nating recipe. And when we cook something, as Jerry had provided us a sample before, it's like cooking your instant noodle. So you have your step 1, step 2, step 3, and you have it there. Nandun yung step-by-step procedure natin. Ilalagay natin on screen. So you are very much guided where to go, what to click, and what to generate, what to look at, what to check. This is to ensure that we are 100% perfect payroll run, every payroll. Tama ba? Yes. Yes, yun yung gusto natin. Siyempre, ayaw natin ng naguguluhan tayo sa mga ano natin, sa payroll natin, naguguluhan tayo sa pupunta. Okay, let's have the next question. We have several company in the group using the system. You specify that we can have access on this depending on our role. As per checking, we have different access roles in every account we have. How do we know the correct roles that we should have? Sa HR, well, HR specialists and managers po yan ma-deploy or mag-grant sa pauna po nating pagbigay ng access control. But who is in charge of your payroll calendar? Which role in your company is in charge of your payroll calendar? Si payroll specialist po ba, payroll manager, or si HR manager? So if you have identified that user role already and you would like to add or for us to grant access control to that user role, all you need to do is submit a signed request form to helpdesk@titanium.ph and we'll definitely grant that. Right away, they'll have that access control put in. So I hope na sagot yun. I hope clear po yung ano. Thank you for the question. Let's answer this next question. When we transferring this task to your client, actually, it's actually empowering our clients. We want to empower you because the challenge, it's actually a promise that we are going to provide you this facility. It's a promise that we are now giving, that we are now fulfilling for our client. It's a long-standing promise that Titanium has. And we are now providing this facility for our clients, for you to edit. Kasi marami po, kung maalala niyo po, in the past years, marami po yung nagpapa-request, nagpapa-move ng initial TP, nagpapa-move. Alam niyo po yan, kung nagpapa-move kayo ng initial TP kasi may hinahabol pa po kayo, may external na manual file pa po kayo inaantay. So you have to reschedule a certain process. And this way, this is our answer in empowering you to be able to do that, to exactly do that on your end without having that, back and forth with Titanium. On screen, pwede nyo na po siyang i-adjust, pwede nyo na po siyang i-update. Kaya po, na-empower po kayo kasi may self-service na po kayong facility to update your payroll calendar. So, meron na dito, may phone in dito. Ayan. Okay. So, meron din kasi, so may mga clients, ito yung isa sa mga challenges eh. Isa sa mga challenges was clients, we have observed this, clients would usually raise a ticket, magsasend pa kayo ng request form because kailangan po namin talaga yun for documentation. Magpapadala po kayo. And yung urgency po kasi ng business need, minsan hindi tayo nagtutugma. So that is why this is it's easier. It's going to be easier for you to update your payroll calendar. Kasi on screen na po eh. Kayo na po yung mag-edit. Hindi naman siya yung masyadong malayo eh.
Yes po.
Hindi naman siya masyadong malayo. Kasi once we have your pay dates, once we have created your pay dates at the start of the year, naka-populate na po yung payroll calendar. So, pwede nyo na po siyang i-update. Start pa lang po ng year, you can already update your calendar. So I hope that's also clear. We have another question sa chat box po natin. For verification, upon checking assigned system role, HR specialist or HR manager are not included in the role list. Do we need to send RF so that access can be given to other roles like PY manager or comp and ben manager? Miss Aiza, I'll send you a message or please email us. I'll personally handle your ticket. Let's discuss this on your ticket. Please send an email to helpdesk@titanium.ph. I'll be assigning that to myself. Tayo po yung mag-usap about that. Kasi kung wala po nga kayong HR specialist, HR manager, saan po namin ilalagay. You don't need to, kung ito po yung first na role na pagbibigyan po namin ng access control, kasi kailangan niyo po yan, you don't need to send an RF kasi wala nga po kayo ng HR specialist, HR manager na role sa inyong account. So we'll talk about this, Ms. Aiza. Please send an email, helpdesk@titanium.ph, and definitely our folks will be tagging that ticket to me. Ayan. You're very much welcome. And thank you for our clients who have raised questions. We're 2 minutes away from top of the hour. Do we have any more questions on the queue? Ayan. Ako, mukhang magkaintindihan tayo. Mukhang maganda ang gising at masarap ang agahan ng ating mga participants kanina. Kaya naman nakinig sila mabuti. If we do not have any more questions at this time, yan po. Thank you all for participating. We welcome your feedback about today's event by answering this quick survey. Meron po tayong survey. Padala ko na lang dito sa ating chat box. You can click on that link and please answer a quick survey in order for us to improve our future event, future webinar. And if you have any other concerns not related or somewhat related to the topic that we have for today, please send an email to helpdesk@titanium.ph. Send me and we'll answer you right away. Or contact us. We have our contact numbers flashed on screen if you have any questions. So you can call us or email us or rate your concerns, rate your tickets via the help desk portal. Ayan. Maraming salamat po. Thank you and thank you for your attention today. Thank you and have a great day. Thank you all. You may now disconnect. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.
Bye po. Happy
Thank you.
lunch.